Hey everybody, I'm Madeline Sklar, host of the Social ROI Chat. I'm here with a very special guest today. Please welcome Larry Kim. Hey Larry,
Hey
thanks for
guys,
being with us.
awesome. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
You do a lot of really cool things, and it was really cool to have you come be our guest today. And before we dive in, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and the services you're providing these days?
Sure, I'm the founder and CEO of Mobile Monkey. We're the fastest growing Facebook Messenger marketing platform. So it's like a way to build contact lists and send messages to people via Messenger, as well as do sponsored messaging through ads. It's free. It's mobilemonkey.com.
That's awesome. So our topic today on the chat, let me get back over to it. Sorry, I was like all over the place right before we started and checking DMs and stuff. Okay, so today's topic was WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger integration, friend or foe. And we just thought you'd be so perfect to have this conversation with us. So I want to go through a couple of these questions, get your expanded thoughts on this discussion. And I want to start with question number one. Why is Facebook integrating the messaging functionality of Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger? And when should we expect to see it?
Sure, this is totally for businesses, right? There's nobody ever wanted the ability to as an individual to send a message from Instagram to some other user on I don't know, like WhatsApp or whatever like that. Usually you just sign up for WhatsApp. You know what I mean? So this is totally for the businesses where it's a pain in the butt to want to reach those three different audiences and then treating them like three completely different companies. You know what I mean? Like it's just they're trying to simplify it for businesses so that we can reach these billions of people, like 3 billion daily active users across these different platforms using one kind of unified messaging service. And that makes a lot of sense for businesses in terms of like when it'll be done. They didn't really announce this. It was a leak. It was like a New York Times expose, and I think they would have preferred not to have announced it, like kept it secret. But what they're saying is maybe early end of this year or early next year. But normally in software things take a little longer than what they expect. There's always some inevitable delays. So
Right.
I would expect if they're serious about this, like 2020 is more likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Being realistic, right?
Yeah. It's just there's all these bells and whistles and stuff. It like just takes a while. Yeah.
For sure. I totally understand that. Okay, so question number two. How will the Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp integration influence the way businesses reach their audience?
So I think very few of us are using messaging like significantly as a marketing channel. It's around 1% of businesses are actively doing like messaging through WhatsApp or Messenger, etc. But if you integrate the three, suddenly you've got a platform that has more daily active users than Facebook does. You see what I'm saying? And that's it's enormous. So it would be silly to be spending all this time and effort, curating a Facebook page that no one sees. You know what I mean? Like while ignoring this other channel that's like significantly bigger and it's sort of like tapping into the communication channel that users actually prefer communicating on. So I think that becomes a very compelling target for if you're a marketer. You need to start thinking more seriously about like how do I service and convert customers on this channel, just like how we used to think about this in social media like 15 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, definitely makes perfect sense. So let's talk about like the whole bot funnels. Okay, so how will integration with Facebook, with Messenger and Instagram, WhatsApp, how's all that going to be influencing these chatbot marketing funnels? And you know you're heavily invested in that right now. So talk a little bit about that.
So when you say affecting marketing funnels, can you just elaborate on like what you're specifically trying to determine here?
Um, well, like how with integrating the integration with Messenger, because you know you got right now we got Messenger, we got Instagram, we got WhatsApp. Like I mean, is there going to be a way these are all integrated
Yeah,
together to
yeah.
work with these chatbot funnels?
So my understanding is that if you're building on the Messenger platform, for example, using Mobile Monkey, that what's just going to happen is that those funnels you've created and for using Mobile Monkey, they'll just automatically work, on for people who don't have Messenger accounts but have WhatsApp accounts or Instagram accounts. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's very. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that businesses can expand their reach without having to redo everything. So like again, I just spoke to my partner contact at Facebook today, and that was kind of what they were indicating. Although, you know, who really knows? It's like still a year out from being built. So I think everyone is just guessing at this point.
Right. And you know, we hear so much about the Facebook, these the messenger marketing is becoming like a big thing, right? And I saw you posted during the chat like these really great like image, these little JPEGs like showing like email marketing versus the messenger marketing right now, and how like what a huge difference, right? Like people don't open emails the way they used to, and of course there's a lot of spam, whereas you look at messenger and the open rates are huge. Are we going to get to a place where this really becomes a standard? Because it seems like businesses are slow to adopt this.
So email, I know a lot of marketers are in love with email. It's really not that it's not that effective anymore. Like, if you want to get like, a click, you need to send out around 2,000 messages, like, because it's like, 5% open rate with 1% click-through rate. It's just not really the channel it used to be, like maybe 20 years ago. This, not everyone agrees with me, but I think chat is the way to go. That's how people, like, how do you communicate with your husband or your girlfriend or your, like you don't like send them an email. Come on, like
Right.
that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, people overwhelmingly prefer messaging over email. The delivery of email is awful. Okay. Now you could say that everyone has an email address and not everyone was using Facebook Messenger, and that's totally valid. But now, what if I said like, well, do you have either an Instagram account, a WhatsApp account, or a Messenger account? And now it's like most people have one of the three, and like so that just becomes so much more valuable as a kind of an alternative communication channel for businesses, instead in lieu of email. And I believe that that's the future. Like, I mean, like email, it's for very formal, long form, sending of contracts and stuff like that. It's not for casual business conversation, like that. So I think this announcement just makes it that more likely to happen. Like if it was like a certain probability of this happening, I think it improves significantly because the ubiquity of those three platforms rivals that of email.
I think so. And seeing this integration come together and like having like really like a one-stop shop, right? Like just one place you can message everyone very easily, one platform, you're done. Super simple and easy. It seems like that's becoming the direction that everything's going, right?
Yeah, I did a class at Boston University to 200 MBA students the other day, and I asked the question like, who doesn't have a WhatsApp or an Instagram or a Messenger account? It was just one person. Like, of course, there's one Luddite that doesn't have it, but like,
Of course.
yeah, it's pretty good coverage, and there really isn't anything else like this.
Right. for sure. Let's go to question number 6. In what ways will Facebook as a business benefit from the integration of Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp?
Madeline, have you ever used WeChat? Have you ever used WeChat?
I have not. I have not used that.
So you just need to find a Chinese friend and have them kind of show you how to use this thing. This might be surprising, but there is no news feed in China. Like the way they do social media, it's not like browsing through some algorithmic filtered view of,
Yeah.
of random posts. The way they do it is through WeChat, and WeChat is more like messaging. And they use WeChat to chat with their friends. They use WeChat to communicate with businesses. It's a lot like how we use browsers. You see what I'm saying? Like if you
Right.
wanted to order food, you would go to a website. If you wanted to hail a cab, you would open an Uber app. Well, they do all this in their messaging application. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why that was possible is because it was ubiquitous. So everyone in China had a WeChat account. And so since everyone had one, every business needed to be on that platform, and then they needed to expose almost like a website-like functionality to be able to browse my products and services and to be able to buy them, but through chat. You see what I'm saying? Now, chatbot's been around for 2-3 years. They haven't gotten that much traction. It's still under 1% of businesses that do this. And the reason is because of messenger fragmentation. It's like, why am I going to spend all this time and effort, where I can only where it's not really rivaling like the ubiquity of like a web browser. You know what I mean? Like where, so people use, iMessage, they use Google, Android, they use Facebook apps, for messaging. And, it's just not as compelling as in China, where everyone was using WeChat. You see what I'm saying? But now with this announcement, I think what's happening is like, this is really ubiquitous. This is enormous. We're talking like 3 or 4 billion daily active users. So then I think what will happen is that a lot of businesses are going to start to want to expose like, chatbot functionality for their businesses to interact with this enormous number of people, which is like dwarfs the number of Facebook users even. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so if that happens, this is extremely valuable because that's a closed ecosystem. So like they're creating kind of like this, almost alternative browsing experience, but within the walls of Facebook. And WeChat, it's like a $400 or $500 billion company. Facebook is only like a $600 billion company or something like that. So like they're kind of neck and neck in terms of their valuations. I think in terms of Facebook, like this is the future for them. Like this is like the next kind of the next 10x comes from messaging, if you ask me.
Right, for sure. I think this is going to be so awesome. I mean, to be able to just have everything all in one integrated together is going to be so nice. So I think for those of us that are we have like, I mean, just a typical day, like how many things we have open between our browsers on our computer, our phones. I was just talking to people yesterday on a chat about how it's like I got to remember to go check Facebook Messenger and go check Twitter DMs and go check Instagram DMs. Like everything is open in so many different places just to communicate. So it seems like having a integration like this is going to be really valuable for everyone, right?
It also makes it like Facebook would like if you're a business and you don't have infinite time and resources, so you have to pick a few channels. I think you're more likely to pick Facebook if they integrate all three. Like if you have to kind of man one like channel, like are you gonna do, I don't know, Vine, or no, not Vine, like what's that, like one of these lesser known chat platforms, or are you going to do Facebook, because it's going to be like 10 100 times bigger than the next chat platform, and that just becomes hard to ignore.
Absolutely. And we got a comment on here. Just to have everything in one place will be awesome. I think people are going to say, what took so long for this to happen?
I think
I think it's going to be great.
they just wanted to, I don't know, grow those communities. But yeah, they're like, really, it's really ridiculous that a company would have three competing messaging platforms. It's kind of unheard of, actually. Like, what company has so many alternative ways of doing the same thing? Um,
And
it's strange.
right. And one last question number 7. How can marketers prepare for this integration? Like, what can we do to get ready for it?
Oh, well, you absolutely need to start doing this in 2019 here. Like, don't wait for Insta Whatinger to arrive. That's my term for, like,
I love that.
combining all these things. You can start using something like Mobile Monkey, a chatbot marketing platform, and start creating your chatbots, and kind of getting used to, like, how this works, and how to service the customers through chat, or through kind of an automated chat assistant. Like, just setting up ads that go into your chatbot, setting up the autoresponders to sell them, kind of the products and services, like all of this infrastructure you can create today. And basically, when Insta Whatinger arrives, it'll just reach more people. And I think a lot of people understand this, and we see an enormous number of people, like, creating this stuff. And I think that's great.
Yeah, and so people can go sign up for free mobilemonkey.com and get started with this. I think it's a great service you're providing. I've heard so many people rave about this, Larry. I can't tell you. Maury Smith at the top of the list. I mean, every time I talk to Maury, she's like, "Are you on Mobile Monkey? Are you on there yet? You've got to get on there. It's the best thing ever." So you're doing something right. So thank you for providing this great tool for all of us marketers.
Oh, thanks. It's the fastest growing messenger platform provider, solution provider in the world, and it has, tens of millions of users, monthly active users, every month. So like, we see it taking off. Like, it's just a matter of convincing, the rest of the world. But for those who've made the leap, are seeing, like, really, really remarkable results. It's just, people are really, it takes a little while to jump on a new channel, but once you do, it's like, oh, why didn't we do this, like, a year ago or something?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. You shared so much great stuff on the chat today. We'll have a recap up tomorrow, and we'll let you know when that's out. What is the best way for people to get in touch? I know we have your website, mobilemonkey.com. Is there any other way people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, just my email's larrykim@mobilemonkey.com, and if there's something you want to talk about, just let me know.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Larry. Appreciate your time today. And thank you, everybody, tuning in. Appreciate you having with us today on the After Chat. We'll be back next week with another great chat. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.